But to give you a little background, okay, our family has been in the paper business for the last 30 years. And only about 6 years or so is when we dwelled into the paper consumer products business, which is more stationary. And in the last 3 years, after being in this consumer products business, we realized that we had something that we could actually change the face of the paper industry. We could go ahead and change the world in paper products. What we realized over the process was that in our experience that we understood, being 30 years, how paper is made across the world. That, okay, people believe that you need to cut trees. People believe that that there are resources that you need to tap. You have certain technologies that you need, or you have certain cost factors, or you have certain markets. We understood that. But going through all of that, we understood what's so good in paper but in North America. Where do they manufacture best? We understood what Brazil does. What does Europe do? What does the Far East do? What does India do? What does China do? And looking at all of that, we came to a conclusion that you don't need any trees to make paper. Zero. You need 0 trees to make paper. All the paper that's there out in the world today can actually be made either from recycled waste or from farm fiber that comes from sugarcane, once you take out the sugar, or from wheat, once you take out the wheat that you eat, or from rice straw, from whatever is remainder. You don't need any wood. So our focus became that, wow, if this is truly the case, then we need to rethink what we're going to be doing as a company. We need to reset ourselves. We need to redefine what we are all about. And so we took this position about a few years ago. We said that, can we do this? Can we go ahead and be the greenest paper company where our focus is going to be only to make paper without using any trees? So we did a complete evaluation, as Susan said, that, do your research. So we did a complete research on that and said, all right, these are our customers. This is what we provide them. How do we get to them the same product? So for example, when we were making a notebook, we went through the process that, all right, a notebook has to have certain properties of being, of paper being smooth, of paper being a certain whiteness, of being able to write on. It had to have a certain bulk. Could recycle waste do that? So then we mapped out which raw materials are able to do that. We said, all right, you don't want to choose something too expensive because it also has to fit into a price point. So you want to get it down to make sure that you do it on mass scale, but at the same time, you want to make sure the price is something that you can go ahead and replace the masses with. You don't want to just make a Me Too product or a special niche product, which is expensive and only a few can buy it. But the idea, if you want to change the world, you have to cater to the masses, right? So when we did that, we said that, all right, this truly means that we have to forego our wood customers, our customers that want a high bright paper or want something that has the properties of wood. Are we ready to do that as a company? Are we ready to go ahead and say we're not going to manufacture those anymore because we want to go green? And we took some hard decisions, and we defined ourselves. We redefined ourselves and said that, no, we're going to be the greenest paper company out there, and we're going to go ahead and say no to wood, and we're going to give an alternate to all of our product lines made out of only recycled or made only out of farm fiber. There. So what's been tough about that? We changed our fundamentals. So the fundamental first, we said that we got to save all trees. And we said, why? Why is it so important to save all trees? So we did a whole bunch of research on why is it so critical. And I think most of the audience here has done a better job than we have, probably because of all the green challenges you've done through, that you know what's so important about saving trees. So once we did that, we said that's a core fundamental that we have to change. We have to work on saving all trees. Because it's not what's in danger. It's not the planet. It's really humanity that's in danger. So we have to save ourselves, and we have to save all of us together. So that's the first fundamental we have to change in our company. No trees cut whatsoever. The second fundamental was that how are you going to execute this? So what are you going to do? That if you're not going to cut trees, how are you going to provide all the paper out there that people need? So we went through the process. We went through the process pretty much in a cradle-to-cradle way, where we went ahead and we buy a lot of waste fiber from America. Just to give you an idea, America produces about 50 million tons of waste paper. Half of it, about 25 million tons, is consumed in America itself, and 25 million tons is exported to countries such as China, India, Far East, and other places. So we said, all right, we're a part of that. So we started picking up paper. We started talking to contractors here. So you can literally take, your paper, put it in your garbage can, and we will work with contractors to take that paper back into paper mills, back into making paper, back into making finished product, and back into stores here, at least in the US and other parts of the country. So that was our second fundamental, was to execute it. That was, and then, like I said, to map every single supply chain. So we had to make sure that if we're going to be doing a file folder, it's got to have the same properties as the consumer demands it, but we got to make it in the same cost. So we did all of those kinds of things. And that was actually the fun part of it, because you did a lot of research, you did a lot of engineering, you did a lot of good work to match something up what the consumer needed. But then came our biggest challenge. Our biggest challenge was more at the front end. Somebody asked my son when he started going to school over here that, what's been the biggest, most difficult thing for you at school? So he says, the most difficult thing for me at school is to convince someone who is not convinced of what I say. And so right, for an 11-year-old, I think we all face the same problem throughout our lives here. The biggest challenge we had was not on the manufacturing side, not on the distribution side, but at the retail side. People were not willing to change. We came to them, we said that, here you go, here's a green product, we're giving you the same properties that you're used to, we're giving it to the same price competitive that you're used to, why wouldn't you make a change? Well, there were many reasons. We've been in a relationship for over 15, 20 years. We don't want to change that. We have our vendors. We've got our all systems set up. We don't want to change, and we haven't touched Whole Foods yet. So, it's not about Whole Foods. So we have distribution. We don't want to change that. So we realized that it's, we said that in order for us to really change the world, because we thought we were doing something good, but in order for us to really do good, the company has to generate itself. It has to keep on going on and on. Otherwise, all the good work we'll do will stop. So then we started winning different kinds of battles. We said, all right, we're not going to go after the big guns today, because changing the big guns is more difficult. So we won the small battles. We went ahead and got the smaller stores into it. We got someone like a Dwayne Reed. We got someone like a Wakeford ShopRite. We got someone like Hannaford. We got someone like Hy-Vee. We got someone like Walgreens to go ahead and make the change. So when they started making the change, we figured now is the time that we're ready to go ahead and move into other avenues to make that change. And we believe that now it's no longer a product that we're selling, because the idea is that each of these notebooks carry a tremendous amount of area where you can go ahead and promote information, promote causes. One of the things we've committed to Teens Turning Green over here is that for next year's products that we're going to be selling is all going to have Teens Turning Green logo on the backside over here. We're going to promote your cause because we believe in it. And similarly, I've learned from many friends over here that I've made is that there are other very good causes out there, and we would like to cross-promote it, because this is not just a notebook. This is a platform. This is a platform. If we can go ahead, and if you're thinking at some point of time, you have to make a decision that, well, should I go ahead and use recycled paper versus something else? And if this notebook is sitting in front of you and telling you about the preamble of the Earth Charter, what our responsibility is to ourselves and our future generations, and you see that and you make a chain that, no, I will go ahead and use recycled paper, or I will go ahead and follow a cradle-to-cradle cycle, or I will go ahead and buy at Whole Foods, then we've helped. We've done something that we could to make a change. So we're committing ourselves to making a platform for change. Thank you.